Hey, what's going on, everybody? How are y'all doing? Is that okay? I always lean forward and try and check this, and I'm noticing that there's crap over here. Okay, that's better. How's everybody doing? Looks like Michael Johnson just got to go into a work meeting. Of course. Kyle's here. How's it going? It's been a little bit. How are you guys? What's been going on? I kind of threw this show together real quick earlier today. So we're gonna mess around with like some stereo effects, some mono effects, and see what kind of works best, and go from there. There we go. So we're gonna learn some. We're gonna learn some things. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna figure stuff out. Also, if you guys have questions, just throw them into the chat, and we'll kind of do some stuff. Let's see, Kyle bought a secondhand PC from his son off an old coworker, finally trying to put it together. What a pain. It can be a pain. Yes, absolutely. But it can also be a lot of fun, because I am actually shopping around for computer parts. I'm going to make a new machine to do all of this stuff with you guys on. It's also going to be like my video editing machine. It's going to help me with like all my all the creative work things that I do, whether it be audio or video stuff for you guys or other outside things that need to happen anyway. So I've been specking out a new machine, and one, it's been fun. Two, it's been crazy because of the technology that's out there. I haven't built a computer in a very long time, so it's relearning all of this stuff. Certainly interesting. Gonna get a pre-built on for myself. Yeah, pre-builts are fun. Hey, look at that. Also, new toy. Pre-builts are cool. You know, they get the job done, but I have very specialized work outside of hanging out with you guys, so that's why I am going to build my machine. I also want to put the parts in that I know work, or that I've seen have worked for a lot of other people, and one, make the investment for the stuff, and two, this needs to be quiet. You need to be quiet. I'm still figuring out how to do it. Hang on. Quiet. There it goes. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's quiet now. Also, where's my... Oh my goodness, I'm falling apart. I think I left it in the other room. Whatever. All right. Pre-builds are fun. I'm going to build a custom machine. That's going to be a lot of fun. That's what we were talking about. Now, let's talk about what we're going to do today. We're going to go back into here. Let's go with this view. And you guys will also notice down on bottom, I got a new little scrolly thing. If it's annoying, let me know. Whatever. No big deal. But we're back into this song. This is the one we were doing our balances with. It's like kind of rocky pop punky kind of thing. I went ahead and threw a different compressor on the lead vocal, like literally as the stream was starting. Like I think I hit start stream and I threw this on real quick. So our balances might be a little off, but that doesn't matter. Why is that thing being a little weird? That was interesting. That's fine. So we're gonna have some fun today and do some effects. We're gonna do some time-based effects, things like delays and reverbs, and we'll kind of touch into some like the different styles that there are. Maybe we'll go like a little bit into like, what does a plate reverb sound like? What does a hall reverb sound like? What does a room reverb sound like? That's gonna be kind of fun. And then the different kinds of delays, like a slap delay, ping pong, time-based effects. John is here. What's going on, John? So we're in the session now, and I don't have anything going on. I don't know if you guys remember this from our last stream. I got a little bit of stuff going on the mix bus, which looks like some bus compression and no EQ, no limiter, a little fab filter cleanup, Pultec doing nothing except adding harmonics, because it can do that, because you can see I'm not adding anything. And then, what is this? Oh, I know why I have these on. I can actually take these off. I know I have a video coming out pretty soon talking about different kinds of EQ, but we'll leave this thing on because I don't know what that was doing. And we can, you know what? We have binaural pan on there in case we needed to sum everything to mono. So we'll leave that on anyway. But you can see I have some fat channel stuff going on. We were having some fun with fat channels in our last stream. I have the slate trigger because this is just a kick. It's literally like a trigger track, like from like a D-drum pad that you can hook onto a drum kit, and it gives you like these samples. It's literally just little tick marks. You can see it right here. Like it's literally just ticks from when the kick was hit. So that's why we have slate trigger going on. What do we got? John and Kyle being friendly. You were showing comps in the last video, so EQs are next then. Yeah, we were having fun. We can certainly have more fun with EQ. But I think, actually, well, did we touch into EQ? Let me go into the guitars. We did a little bit of EQs in the last stream. Yeah, see, here's the same Alpine. And then what we got on the bus, nothing on the bus, but I threw one on there anyway, just in case. And then on the main bus for the guitars is another little compression. Doing some all buttons in for some saturation. Did you guys watch the latest video that came out yesterday? Talking about all buttons in? It was kind of fun to make. This isn't the same session though. What do we got going on here? Little EQ on our overheads for our drums, followed up by a fab filter, which is literally just not... Oh, I know exactly what this was. I needed to throw fab filter on because I wanted to just affect the left, and instead of going through like a splitter tool and throwing something on just the left, I threw fab filter in and I just put this EQ notch out on the left because the hi-hat is in these overheads and I didn't like that frequency, so I cut it out of the left and made it a little more balanced for me. And then what I did do just a second ago, the Cornef Audio Pawn Shop Comp 2. This is an awesome compressor. I really like this one. Very simple to use on front. Attack, release, ratio, and threshold. Here's your bypass and your auto makeup button here. But you guys may have seen I have a video about this one, and this is just the updated version of it. If you click on the name, you get inside the compressor, so you can change things like the preamp tubes, the output transformer, the bias, the grits, the EQ going into or the EQ of the compressor itself. Like, there's so much you could do with this compressor. But I literally just threw it on, dialed in a couple quick things for our lead vocals real quick. But other than that, there's no effects going on. So let's start having fun with some reverbs at first. And I'll be honest, as of recently, I am not a reverb fan. It's just not sitting in the mixes that I'm doing. I'm having more fun with delays and using delays to give me that space. Well, throw it in the chat. Do you want to see reverbs more, or do you want to see delays more? Because, I mean, at this point, we can do whatever we want. But what I will start doing, though, while you guys are throwing that into the chat, is making those tracks. So if I just want to add a bus, which I have as Command Control B. So let's just make a bunch. What did I make? 9? There's 10. And then I want these 10 to slam into a folder. And this is going to be FX. And make it my color, which is this greenish tealish thing. I'm going to make a bus for the effects as well. Solo safe that bus. Okay, here we go. I'm going to do this individually because you kind of have to. This is one of the things that you can't do in Studio One now, is I can't select all of these with like shift clicking and then shift clicking on the S. Like, I can't do that right now. Maybe I'll put it as a feature request. That's a different note. I have so many different notes going on that you can't see, and so many different things going on in here because I'm a crazy person. Okay, well, let's just start renaming while you guys are saying. Delay the reverb, you could do that. Delay from Kahung Folk. I'm gonna go with that. John, delay the reverb. So that's something you could definitely do, is you can delay the reverb, or you can throw your delay into a reverb. Like, you can have one go into the other, and maybe we can mess around with that. So let's do some stuff. Let's do plate hall. room, and for fun, we can do a church. Then we can do a slap, eighth note, quarter note, half note, and let's have some more fun with time-based effects. And we can do flanger and phase, because why not? Those are also time-based effects. So we can certainly have some fun with those things. I thought reverbs were the norm when you need to make it bigger. It can be. So, like I'm saying, for my productions, my mixes, the stuff that I work on, I am using reverb. So you'll see me do stuff like a snare plate. Sorry for that. That was disgusting. My neck has been messed up. You'll see me do stuff like a... let me change this real quick as well. Let me do this one, because I'm talking to you. Hey, look, there's those things that shouldn't be doing that right now. But if you want, follow me on Instagram. So you'll see me do some things that are pretty normal, and you'll find a lot of guys doing it out there anyway, is things like snare reverb. Like I like a plate on my snares. Sorry, just bigger, not bigger. Well, bigger could be bigger too. So I do still use reverb, but when it comes to something like vocals, I've been more so using things like delays on my vocals. And that's kind of what we're going to do today, because I think really using vocals into the time-based effects kind of shows them off a little bit more. So that's why we are going to use our vocals. What's going on there? And to really hear all the different stuff. Let's see, our reverbs are going to go here. And let's do... let's see what we get in open air. And I have that across all 4 of these, but nothing's loaded right now. And then let's have some fun with the... Oh, mind you, I want to say this now. I am still using Studio One version 4. Actually, an update came out today of 5.0.2, which fixes some bugs and makes things more stable. I have yet to install it on my system. So that's why, again, I'm going to be using Studio One version 4. It's rock solid on my system. Bobby's here. What's going on, Bobby? Cool. Go for it. It's a new learning. It's fun for everyone. Reverb can muddy up the mix. Yes, John, it can, but you can do things to kind of get around that and clean up that mud. And maybe we can get into some of that today as well. So we're going to do some stuff real quick, and I'll log. Nope, these go over here. I don't know what I typed over there, but it's fine. Let's have some fun with analog delay, and we're going to slap that across all of them, because whatever, we need something quick and easy, right? All right, but we are going to start here. What did we do? We did plate on this one, so let's open up a plate. And let's go with just a medium plate. Let's go plate 2. Because everybody uses plate 1. Preset number 2 is where all the secrets are. Okay. Then we have this one set for a hall. And I am just kind of flying. I have no idea. 990? Yeah, sure. 990. Let's do that. Let's do some room. Rooms. Let's go, because we're going to be doing vocal rooms. Let's do that. Ooh, 250, long vocal. This is probably based off an EMT 250. So we'll go with that one. Always clean off my plate. Yeah, that's what the dishwasher's for. Ahem. And then what did we did a church. So we can have, let's post. What do we have in here? Bathroom XL, that could be fun. But we did call this church, so let's see what we can find. Indoors out, locker room, living room. Metal chamber, mic location, Mr. Vader. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to pull up Mr. Vader. I have no idea what this one is. And I know we called it church. So maybe we just do this. We do, boop, we do another open air. And we find a church for this one. Let's do a room. These are all chambers, which is cool. If you guys haven't played with chamber reverbs before, those can be really nice. Actually, I wonder if we're going to have large halls like cathedral, church, Church 2. Oh, Church 6000. That's way better. That's 6,000 more. Okay. So let's turn off Mr. Vader. We're going to remember that that guy's on there. Use sidechain to duck reverb. Yes, you absolutely can. And we can do that real quick too. I mean, what did we say? We're going to do analog delay, and we're going to do slaps. So slaps are like real fast. So we're just going to go with like a 30-second note on this one. Then we have, what is this? 8th note. So click, 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 click. Nope, that's going the wrong way. Got to lean in. And like you guys are seeing, like I am not really changing much of anything. I am just changing the time. That's 8th note dot or quarter note dotted. Flanger, these guys are not supposed to be on here, so we take that off. We go to here. We go flanger. Let's just go stock. Yeah, perfect, lovely. And then we go to this guy, and we'll go over here. Go phaser. And let's go with the phaser. All right. So there's a bunch of different time-based effects. What is it? Yeah, John's laughing at Kyle because he cleans off his plates. But in the world of audio, there are no rules, so we can throw EQs into these things. All right, we've talked about that. All right, everybody can see all of my effects. These ones all here are going to this bus. This bus is now going to go to my mix bus so that it goes to you guys. And let's start having some fun. I'm going to open up the mixer real big. And I'm going to open up my sends. And I'm just going to do everything off of my lead vocal bus. I don't think that matters to anyone. So if I solo things here. And let's have some fun. And first we'll listen to some of the different stuff that we can do. And I want to do sends. Okay, you guys are seeing this. I'm moving my fader port. And you're watching the send do stuff here. So let's listen.
You are the one, you make me feel like this. You are the one, screaming you hypocrite.
Okay, there's our dry vocal, right? You know what, we could probably just start stacking things up because I'm gonna be doing it here. It'll be easy to just kind of like quickly zip, zip, zap. So I'm just gonna start slamming all of my things in. Room, church, slap, 80s, 40s, 20s, fling flangs, and dephasers. I don't know how to do different pages. Maybe it's this button. Nope. Yep. Lead vocals. That's all down. Is it this? Nope. That does that. Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So we heard our dry vocals, right?
You are the one, you make me feel like this. You are the one, screaming you hypocrite.
That is the sound of a plate reverb. I want to make sure that you guys actually heard that. Please let me know, because I need you guys to tell me. I don't know what you guys can or cannot hear. Hey, look at that. There's my things again. Yes, YouTube and Twitter, if you want to follow me on Twitter. Let's get those things out of there. Also, where is it? Follow me on Instagram, Tim Talks Audio. I'm not even going to let the thing play out. So let me know that you guys are hearing it. We're using open air. So here we go. And we're doing our lead vocal.
You are the one, you make me feel like this. You are the one, screaming you hypocrite. Missing puzzle piece, come and fill me in.
So I'm not trying to like get a balance right now. I'm just showing you some things, and even just pulling up a preset for open air. Plate 2, like I said, everybody uses the first preset. You got to use the second one. That's how you make hit records. And today's show isn't really going to be about how to mess through open air. I have a video about convolution reverbs, which was what open air is. We're just going to kind of studying the different sounds that we're getting from these reverbs. So one last time, here's plate.
You are the one, you make me feel like this.
Nice little decay time. What is it currently set to? A little over a second. It says that it's 2.5, but you can hear it like kind of falling off after that. Anyone else seeing some buffering? No buffering on your end. Dwayne, you might just want to refresh your browser. Sometimes that can happen. So yeah, Dwayne, just go ahead and refresh your browser. That might be a little bit better for you. So we did plates. It's got a nice little decay on it. Now let's mess around with our hall reverb, okay?
You are the one, you make me feel like this. You are the one, screaming you hypocrite, missing puzzle pin.
So that is where we were. Actually, that is why. Bing. So this is just the Bright Hall 990. Again, we're just pulling open presets, and every preset's going to sound a little different, but you can hear this one is already way bigger. It says that it is almost 5 seconds long.
You are the one, you make me feel like this.
Ooh, did you hear that S right at the end? Real sizzly in this hall. If we pull open a different preset, which we're going to do real quick, boop, Bright Theater.
You are the one, you make me feel like this.
So slightly different, but again, you can hear halls really have, like, generally speaking, they'll have a much larger sound to them, a longer tail, things like that, because halls are based on performance halls and things of that nature. So generally speaking, they'll sound a lot bigger because they are bigger spaces compared to something like a plate.
You are the one, you make me feel like this.
And that was me just kind of switching through them real quick. So that was the plate versus the hall. Now let's just try, not you, I want to see you. Now we're going to go to our room. Why are you awake? You don't need to be awake. Be something dark. All right, I'm sorry, another machine turned on. So this is the 250 long vocal. This is a room, but I think that this is actually based on the EMT 250. So we might pull open a different preset for this one. But this is going to be our room sound for our reverb.
You are the one, you make me feel like this.
And it is 2 plate-y. So let's find, this is a vocal room. So let's just go vocal 1. Nope. What did we say? Everybody uses vocal 1. We're going to go vocal 2. So now, did you hear that though with the 250, how it was kind of platey? Here is the plate again.
You are the one.
Like it's relatively short. It decays very nicely. It's got a nice slope in its plate decay. And then if we go back to this one, so we'll do a quick A/B of the plate that we have on the other plugin. So right now you're going to be listening to the 250 long delay. This is the preset, and like my gut is telling me that's an EMT 250 plate.
You are the one, you make me feel like this. You are the one, screaming hypocrite.
These two are very similar sounding, and I really think that the 250 is based on the EMT 250. So now we're going to change our room to vocal 2, and now we'll listen.
You are the one, you make me feel like this. You are the one, screaming hypocrite.
Again, going in, there's lots of S's on here. Now, you can always change the EQ going in. Like this section down here, this is an EQ going into the reverb, or out of the reverb processing. This is out. But you can always throw an EQ either before or after your reverb.
You are the one, you make me feel like this. You are the one, screaming you hypocrite, missing puzzle piece.
This is bathroom. And there's a reason that you do It's actually bounce verb. I thought I pulled up in bathroom. That's the one I do want. What you can do with time-based effects is actually kind of stack them and blend them together, which is really cool. So you can have like a very short sounding reverb like a bathroom, which sounds like this.
You are the one, you make me feel like this. You are the one, screaming hypocrite.
And then you could follow this up with something like a hall. So right now we're just listening to the bathroom, and you heard it's small. It sounds like somebody in a bathroom. That's the whole idea. But when you listen to a voice, and I've taken the send out right now.
You are the one, you make.
It's very upfront, and it's not how if you were just having a conversation with somebody in a room, like we all used to do, and not in this day and age where, you know, back in the olden days when you used to actually talk to somebody in a room, you're not hearing them directly into your ears or your head or out of speakers or things like this. You hear the reflections within the room. So to recreate that, you can use something small like a bathroom.
You are the one, you make me feel like this.
And then follow that up with a more creative kind of delay, and we'll use the hall in this case.
You are the one, you make me feel like this. You are the one, screaming you hypocrite.
To create this different sense of size, something that sounds more natural, but then also has this really nice luscious tail that goes on at the end. Stacking as in parallel, technically yes, this is parallel processing because we have our lead vocal and then we have our bathroom reverb return and like a copy of our lead vocals going to our bathroom reverb return. And I feel like you guys can't even see me, so I'm going to do this real quick. So you have your main vocal, and then in parallel is the return of the short reverb, in this case the bathroom. And then next to that, well, I guess it would be over here, is another copy going from our reverb return for our hall. So it is technically parallel processing, but not in the way that like most people normally think of parallel processing. When you think of parallel processing, most of the time you think of parallel compression, where that's taking a vocal, making a duplicate of it, and compressing the hell out of that one and then blending them together. This is still parallel processing because you're sending a copy off to something and the return is coming back. So it is. And that's why I put my effects like on buses. Let me switch back over to this so you guys can see. Oh my goodness, why are those things doing that thing again? Whoop. No, over here. Don't worry about 8 and 9. Those are my shortcut keys. That's why I have all these returns going on here. I want to see the sends bar. The sends bar is going to be over here. And I just want to make sure if I go back to this. Cool. Oh, yes, they're watching on YouTube machine. They all know. So you guys can see it now. Watch the hall right here by my mouse. I'm going to be doing it with my fader port, but the send levels, you'll see them all happening over here now. Thank you for letting me know that you wanted to see that, because without knowing that, I wouldn't have seen it. Everybody's hearing everything. To me, she sounds better using the mix verb with the natural preset. Okay, that's definitely some insight. Thank you, Bobby. The reverb out is not going into the next reverb. Right, correct, it is not. So what is happening right now is on my lead vocal bus, and I have to say it like that, bus, I am just doing sends, and you guys can see them going up and down now. Here's my hall send, here's my room send, which is a bathroom. So I'm doing basically 2 sends, and you can see I'm using 2 fingers on the fader port to adjust my sends, and I'm adjusting how much is going to be blended in. So here's our dry vocal.
You are the one, you make me feel like this. You are the one, screaming you hypocrite.
So if I take the room out, and I'm just gonna bypass it for now by turning the send off.
You are the one, you make me feel like this.
Paul is asking, are you high pass and low pass on the parallel tracks? Not yet, but that is absolutely something you can do. Right now we're just doing like a straight comparison of time-based effects. So right now is just reverbs. We'll get into delays in a little bit, and if we still have some time, which I do have to end at 3:30 today, like I have a hard call at 3:30. Maybe we'll get into that. If not, that can be something that we approach at a later date and time. We're just comparing sounds right now. But yes, throw an EQ before and after your reverbs and your delays and all this other stuff to see how it changes your envelope and helps clean up your mix.
You are the one, you make me feel like this.
So, okay, we've done that. We've listened to our bathroom to make a nice short sound. We have our hall, which is kind of a creative long sound that's going on, happening in parallel. We're going to take both of those out. Now we're going to have a little bit of fun. Which tool do I have? Why do I have that open? Let's get rid of that thing. We're going to go with our church. We called it a church, and we're going to use our church. Move this over so everybody can see. Here's our church send. Here's me sliding the fader to do it, right? Okay. Raw vocal, and then we'll blend it in.
You are the one, you make me feel like this. You are the one, screaming you hypocrite, missing puzzle piece.
I'm going to push this too far because churches will have a very, very long tail. If you think of something like a cathedral or something like that, these buildings are huge and they're made of stone, and all they do is reverberate for days. Not days, they reverberate a lot. Just, think of like throwing a snare drum into here, but we're not doing that right now. But we could.
You are the one, you make me feel like this.
And now it's gone. So churches are very long, very lush sounding reverbs, and you can have a lot of fun with them. And they're very similar to halls. If we do like a quick A-B, I have my two faders here. I'm going to start with the church, and then we'll kind of jump back and forth.
You are the one, you make me feel like this.
That was our church.
You are the one, you make me feel like this.
So you can hear the early reflections on the hall decay a lot faster, and there's a bit of a tail. It's not nearly as long because this is the church that we're looking at right now, which is almost 8 seconds long. This is ridiculously long. So here's our church again, and I'm like eyeballing these levels. I know everything's going to be a little bit off, but
you are the one, you make me feel like this.
And then let me turn that off and do our hall, excuse me.
You are the one, you make me feel like this.
So our hall has a good blend of early reflections and late reflections. Then our church kind of has a bit more, the way the preset is looking, it's a little more heavy to our early reflections, which gives it like that glossy kind of sound. But there are those really long tails that are going on. But you can hear the similarities between a hall reverb
You are the one,
and a church reverb.
you are the one.
So they're very similar, but they're very different. Okay. We're going to finish up with reverbs with whatever this preset was. This one, Mr. Vader. I have no clue what it is. We're finding out together. Let's go dry first.
You are the one, you make me feel like this.
This is essentially a slap reverb. This is very short, very tiny. You can see the early reflections. There's like no fade in. Fade out is very fast. Like this is meant to be almost like you sound like you're in a helmet. That's why it almost sounds like it's doubled. And it also sounds like it's doubled because it's not on. Let's listen again, because dummy. Big dumb dummy.
You are the one, you make me feel like this. You are the one, screaming you hypocrite.
Okay, now that we actually are hearing this, it is a little robotic. It is very slappy. It's very fast. And I think why they called it Mr. Vader is to kind of sound like you're speaking in a helmet.
You are the one, you make me feel like this.
So it's very robotic sounding. You can hear that happening. It's got a very... It's a medium-ish kind of tail on it. But that's the sound. It's like kind of robotic-y, kind of helmet-y. It's sort of similar to our bathroom.
You are the one.
Where the bathroom kind of decays nicer and doesn't have that robotic sound.
You are the one. You make me.
So a bit robotic-y with Mr. Vader. Kind of nice though. But we heard before, let's stick with our bathroom and our, you know what? Let's try bathroom and plate real quick.
You are the one. You make me feel like this. You are the one. Screaming, you hypocrite.
We'll do a very fast A-B of dry versus the two reverbs blended.
You are the one. You make me feel like this. You are the one. Screaming, you hypocrite.
So it gives a little bit of sense of space. It puts her in a room, or it gives her a sense of not just being fed directly into your ears. So have fun with your reverbs. We'll try and touch on some EQ stuff, but let's listen to some of the sounds, and I'm going to take those ones out real quick, of different style delays. Now, I have a slap delay going on first, because we're going to start with our shortest, and we're going to go long from there. So a slap delay will generally have a very small amount of feedback, and the feedback is literally just that. It's the signal getting fed back into the delay. So the more feedback you have, the more signal gets fed back into the delay, and it creates this cycle. Okay, cool. Saturation, we're not going to worry about. I'm going to leave it at width as stereo right now. I don't want it to be ping pong. We'll get into that later or at another time. This already has dampening built in, so I'm just going to leave it as it was. And I'm not going to do any LFOs or anything like that. If you guys haven't seen, I do have a video going over all of the controls on the analog delay. So make sure to go check that one out if you want. So I go over all the different controls and how everything works. Right now, we're just kind of quickly dialing things in. So let's do ascend to our slap. Hey, I was looking at that. Thank you.
You are the one. You make me feel like this. You are the one.
So that's very fast. I'm even going to slow it down a little to like a 16th note. Now, generally speaking, when you see other guys do it, they'll do it on a delay that you can actually dial in the milliseconds, and maybe we'll do that in a second, in a moment or two, because then you can really kind of get that slap in there. And I'm gonna increase my feedback just so you hear what's going on. But then, generally speaking, a slap delay is very it's like 1 or 2, and it's real fast.
You are the one. You make me feel like this. You are the one. Screaming, you hypocrite. Missing puzzle piece. Come and fill me in. The devil's words has spoken so me.
So that is a slap delay. You know what? Let's do it real quick. And I'm gonna go with this one. I think the H delay is probably my best bet. And let's have fun. Let's just go mono for now. Make things easy for people listening on phones and stuff like that. Now, the reason I'm using this is exactly like we said. We can lower our feedback, and we can take our milliseconds and crank them all the way up, or we can have it be very short, like 25 milliseconds. Let's see what this does.
You are the one. You make me feel like this. You are the one. Screaming, you hypocrite. Missing puzzle piece. Come and fill me in.
So it's very fast. It's very short. I can even bring this up to let's go with 130. Why not?
You are the one.
At this point, though, where we're at like 130 milliseconds, it's starting to turn into almost like an eighth note-ish kind of delay. So you have to just watch what's going on with your timings. So we're going to slow it down, so let's try 100.
You are the one, you make me feel like this.
So it's slapping a couple times. We can reduce the feedback even more.
You are the one, you make me feel like this. You.
When we hit stop, it decays really fast because there's not a lot of feedback going on. So this is a slap delay. You'll hear a lot of this on like, you can take a guitar into a slap delay. You know, that's something that you'll hear a lot on like rockabilly style stuff. I mean, you'll hear it on a bunch of other things too, but if you really want to hear like the sound of slap, just listen to like rockabilly stuff. Brian Setzer was huge into this, like the multiple music things that he did. I mean, he would just take a guitar, throw it into a slap, and then crunch it into an amp. Like that's like his sound.
You are the one.
Okay, now let's go into more rhythmic ones with our eighth note. So you guys can see the send is happening down here, and boom, analog delay. Get over there. Let's bring this down. Okay. You guys are seeing this? Here's our eighth notes. This is more of a musical style delay thing. So I do have more feedback going on. I'm going to put it back to stereo. I'm not going to worry about saturation. I'm not going to worry about mix. Again, we're just leaving things as they are. But you can see it is, I have the tempo of the song set. That's why we have sync on. And we have it at 1/8 note. Excuse me.
You are the one, you make me feel like this. You are the one, screaming you hypocrite.
So you can hear it. If we take this out of solo real quick, what is that?
You are the one, you make me feel like this. You are the one.
You can hear it kind of doing that. You are the, like without the wavy sound like that thing, but you can hear the delays going very quickly in time with the song.
You are the one.
And because we just have the send up all of the time, literally anything that's happening is going to our delays here. So it can get very confusing and very muddy, and a lot of stuff can happen and be like in the way. But you can also adjust that and use a more musical style, an even more musical style delay, which is, where is he? This guy. This is our quarter note. Again, following sync, we have the same amount of feedback. I just got to change the width because it doesn't matter. We'll get into ping pong. Actually, we'll get into ping pong with this one. So now listen to my quarter. So here we go. Here's our quarter send.
You are the one.
Okay, that's dry. And I'm gonna put it up now. I'm eyeballing it. I'm earballing it.
You are the one. You make me feel like this. You are the one.
So you can hear that it's slower than our eighth notes.
You are the one. You make me feel like this.
Okay. Like at this point, we're talking about just the timings within the song, and if you have your tempo set, then you're good to go. But you can use these different ones in conjunction with each other, because like I can have my eighth notes going the whole time.
You are the one. You make me feel like this. You are the one, screaming you hypocrite.
And right there, I was doing live delay throws to a quarter note delay, where it's just like I only want a couple things going and I'm just going to kind of push my sends. This is something you could do automation with, and maybe we'll touch into that in like a future stream. But like I'm just doing it live for you guys right now. So let's do this real quick. Let's go to our width, slam this all the way back down the other way to ping pong, take our eighth notes out, put our quarter notes up.
You are the one.
And then what we have to do is change our input, because once we change our input, you'll hear the ping pong happen, where it's going to go I need to move this just like under my face real quick. Let's move it. Yeah, like there. So now you'll hear it hit through different speakers.
You are the one.
And because we're set to ping pong, even though our input is on the left, it is then making the delay come out on the right first, and then that's feeding the left, feeding the right, feeding the left. This is what ping pong is it's going from side to side, and the feedback is how much of the signal is going to get degraded or not sent back into the signals or the delay when you're doing it.
You are the one.
Let's see if we can do this real quick. I'm gonna really push it, and I just want to do like a little snip of something, so you can hear it. That yeah, you can hear it going yeah. I hope you guys can hear this at home too. What is the difference with using a mono versus stereo plugin on a mono track? Well, this is one of those things. So let's do this real quick for you. That we're on our quarter notes, and I'm going to do the same thing. H delay. So I'm going to do H delay mono. So with H delay mono, it's going to take our mono signal in and create a mono return of our delay. And we're just kind of eyeballing it. This is fine. So our lead vocal is mono, and it's coming right up to center. And I want to do this real quick. Our lead vocal is mono, and it's coming right up the center. And then the delay is following right in the center right after that. So with a mono to mono, so a mono signal into a mono delay, in this case, everything's going to be coming straight up the center. If we do, we could just do that. That's fine. H delay. If we do a stereo instance of the same plugin, we're going to do our same settings, quarter note, and whatever, it's fine. Again, what is happening is your mono signal is feeding both sides of a stereo delay. It could be anything else. But you may notice if I switch back to the mono one, some of my controls are limited. Hang on, let me make it big for you. Let me embiggen it for you. Oh my goodness, there's those things again. Get out of here. Follow me on Instagram. Here's our mono plugin, right? And you can see there's just a phase. There is just a phase. Oh my goodness, every time I change things, I have to figure out why that's doing it. There is just a phase invert button on here. This is our mono plugin. On our stereo plugin, some of our controls change, and we can flip the phase of our sides. So for instance, I'm going to flip the phase of the left side right now. And I'm not a fan of that because it in the room, it made me all wonky sounding, and definitely like it did like this. Like I didn't like that. But something else you could do, I mean, you could do both sides, and now your delays are going to be phase flipped from your lead. So this helps kind of clear up that mid channel a little bit, and I hope you heard that. Because it's technically in a different phase, but it's also in a different time, so it helps a little, but not as much as being able to do something like ping pong like we were just doing. When you have a mono signal feeding a stereo delay, in this case, you're able to send that signal and automatically do it with a ping pong button to different sides like that. Then if we follow it up one more time where we have boop H delay mono stereo. You're gonna have the same kinds of things in here, but you should be able to alter some more parameters. You can see it automatically phase flipped both because we have a mono signal into our stereo, and then when we do ping pong, it's gonna sound very similar. The dry vocal sounds a bit hollow to me, not close to the mic. Makes adding reverb harder. The lead vocal right now, only has some compression going on.
You're the one. You make me feel like.
And all of that too.
You. You are the one.
So there's not a lot going on right now. Okay, so that's kind of the difference between like our monos and stereo sends. And it's exactly that. Like if it's a mono to go into mono, it's always going to be coming up that center channel. So with some time-based stuff, maybe you want to do your some stereo sends. Let's do this guy. Same thing. Thanks so much for the great explanation. You're very welcome. All right, we're on our half notes. Again, another musical sounding send. Where is he? No, that's our quarter. Here's our half. This one is just going to be even longer. To be expected.
You are the one. You make me feel like this. Yeah.
So I'm just kind of like throwing it right now. I like the look of that compression plugin, masking tape and all. Michael, you might have been on your call before. This is the Cornef Audio Pawn Shop comp. On the front, really simple, really nice, really elegant. Attack, release, ratio, threshold, bypass built on, and an auto makeup gain, and you can adjust the screw for makeup gain as well. But then this thing is really powerful because you can get into the guts of it and change the tubes feeding it, change the output transformer, the bias, the preamp warmth and grit. There's parallel compression built in. You can drive the output voltage, which is something you can tinker with this thing. You can change the resistors, whether they be metal film, carbon 5%. Like there's so much you could do in this compressor. I haven't touched any of these. All I did was dial something in real quick. But this is great. Cornef Audio. Go check it out. It's a fantastic compressor. Dan makes amazing stuff. The two things he has out right now is the Pawn Shop comp and the talkback limiter from the SSL console, the Listen mic compressor. Brilliant. Let's get back to delays, because that's what we were talking about.
You are the one. You make me feel like this.
So again, this can be very musical. You can definitely do this at the end of a phrase. Let's go like to the end here.
Hey, the devil's words have spoken to me.
So you may not always use something like a half note delay, and it's going to be waiting that half note. That's what we call it. That. But it's good to have in your session for little effect things like this.
Hey, the devil's words have spoken to me.
Yeah. So those are half notes delays. Now let's get into a couple of the last things we're going to be doing, which is flanger. And these ones I think I have to do. I can't. Where is... Hang on. I don't know if I can do... No, I can't do pages. Lead vocal. Nope. Sorry, I'm trying to do it on the fader port. But, I'm just going to do it with mouse now. So we're going to do our flanger. On some EDM stuff, I would mix some eighth note, quarter note, half note, etc. to create a rhythmic delay pattern. Exactly, yes, and that's why you can sync it to your tempo and be able to do stuff like that. You can come up with some neat sounds that way. Let's do flanger and phaser, and then let me show you something else that you can do, which really adds that sense of togetherness and space. But we'll get into that. Flanger first.
Hey, the devil's...
Oh wait, where were we? Let's go back to our loop start, which is this button.
You are the one. You make me feel like this. You are the one. Screaming, you hypocrite. Missing puzzle piece.
So this isn't like a reverb or a delay. it is, but that at the same time it's not. What this is doing is it's doing micro timing delays, so very short, a few milliseconds here and there for flanging, and so it's taking a direct copy and then putting it right back in, but slightly off, and you can actually modulate it as well with the LFO, and so it's going to give you this, but very slowly over time.
You are the one, you make me feel like this. You are...
So let's see if I can make it, let's do feedback like a ridiculous amount. The speed is going to be fine. I'm going to do some of this just to try and make it like even more present for you. Never looked, but wonder if there's a Unison plugin included in Studio One. No. I don't think so, but let me know what you mean by Unison. If you're talking like UAD stuff, no, but at the same time, maybe.
You are the one, you make me feel like this.
So that is extreme flanging, because I had the feedback way up.
You are the one, you make me feel like this.
So it creates this like slow moving up and down, like kind of push and pull that you can hear. This is what flanging it is. It's micro timing delays. When you get longer than this, and then another one you could actually do, which we'll just kind of do this real quick, and I'll pull it up. A chorus. A chorus is also another micro timing delay, and whatever the default is, this is fine.
You are the one, you make me feel like this.
For the delays, you can see this is at 11 milliseconds. Let's see, we want it to be a chorus, so let's just make it extreme. Stereo width, let's make it real wide, and I don't care about that. Voices, let's increase the voices.
You are the one, you make me feel like this. You are the one, screaming you hypocrite. Missing part.
So this is doing a very similar thing. It's taking that vocal, doing some micro timing with it with 11 milliseconds right now. That was scary. Oh, are you talking the flanger? The flanger actually is kind of like that spooky, scary thing. Flangers come after choruses. Choruses are first, and they go up to 15 milliseconds, down to 3 milliseconds. This is followed by flangers, which goes from like 15 to like 50 milliseconds. I think, I can't remember the math. It could be from 15 to 35. Honestly, I don't even remember. And then above that is phasing, and then when you get out of phasing, you get actually into delay. So that's where these things are. It's chorus to flange, flange to phase, phase to delay. They are all the same thing, but it's the amount of time that you have going on can change what's going on. Reason has a Unison rack module, which is a cool sound on vocals. It does something like create copies of the input sound and slightly pitches the copies up and down for a wider sound. Oh, you're talking like the... I know exactly what you're talking about. You're talking like the eventide trick. So one of the things that what you could do is actually something like this. You could do a chorus.
You are the one, you make me feel like this. You are the one, screaming you hypocrite.
And then you can change some of this around. But if you're talking like detuning stuff as well, one of my favorite ones to use, and I'll just show you this real quick, and you guys have seen me use this before, micro. Even just the little micro shift. This is from Sound Toys. This thing is brilliant. It is the eventide detune, and it's like detunes on the left and right, and the timing is a little different. So when you do this one, and this is the only thing we have going on.
You are the one, you make me feel like this. You are the one, screaming you hypocrite. Missing puzzle piece, come and fill me in. So
it has 3 different detune and chorusing stages. You can mess around with that, and it has a mix knob built in. The big brother to this one. Hey, look at that, we crashed. And you know what? I think I need to wrap up anyway. So let's go with this. And honestly, I still get crashes too. You just saw it happen. This happens every once in a while. And, you know, autosaves are great. But that honestly, with Sound Toys plugins, I get that every once in a while. And it's just what it is. Maybe I have to check for an update. My system needs whatever. Back. You know what? While we're doing this, what can I do over here? I can't really do anything. If you guys aren't already, follow me on social medias. They're down here. So, Twitter. Obviously, you guys are already watching me on YouTube. Check me out on Facebook, and then I'm on Instagram as well. Yeah. Reopen. Yeah, there we go. Let's see if I can still... yes! It has an autosave that's newer. Yes, I'll go with that one. Thank you very much. Let's see. I do have to wrap this up soon. Sorry, guys. But while this is opening and doing its thing, because it's pulling open an autosave, I am going to say this. One, I appreciate all of you guys coming and hanging out and spending some time and learning some new stuff. That really means a lot that you guys come to hang out with me on that, especially when we do these live streams. But live streams are going to be changing. So it is back to school time, not only for, you and I with, what we're doing here, but for my daughter. She starts first grade on Thursday, which is in 2 days. So there's going to be a bit of a change going on. We have to figure out the new dynamic around the house. We have to figure out the new schedule that works best with the family. So Michael, thank you for the super chat. That means a lot, guys. If you are looking for ways to support the channel, super chat is an awesome way, just like Michael just did. And so thank you so much. So yeah, schedules are changing. Things are changing. The seasons come and they go. What am I doing? So live streaming schedule is changing. I'm actually going to take probably about a 2-week break. There it is. Look at that. The shaking on the camera really helps. So, what I'm going to actually be doing is taking about a 2-week break to reassess what schedule works for the family, what schedule works for me and for you guys. And you'd like to see everything shaking. Live streams are coming back. I'm just going to take a little hiatus on them. Regular content is still coming out every Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So don't worry, nothing's going anywhere, nothing's happening. We're just changing the schedule for live streams. I'm going to take a little break, reassess some things, come up with some new ideas. Honestly, probably we might write another song. And really what we should do is finish the first one and send it to you guys so you can all mix it. And then maybe that'll be a thing. What we do is I'll listen to your mixes and be like, hey, this is kind of cool. Let's do that. But we'll figure all that out. So 7 p.m., not a bad idea. Follow up some of the other guys. I don't want to step on their toes, but at the same time, evenings might be better. I know for our international audience, it's probably not so great, but maybe what I can start incorporating is a weekend early so that all the international audience can come hang out. And then for our US audience, it'll be in the evenings. We'll figure it out. I'm still trying to assess everything. Let's wrap up. Let me get you back in and let's talk about some more sounds. Hey, follow me on Instagram. So what did we do? Where did we leave off? Slap, you go back to the center. Slap, you go back to the center. Thank you. Looks like our flanger's there. All right, let's talk the sound of phasing. 7 p.m. Central, also an option. Again, I got kids, I gotta get on the bed. We'll figure it out. I will keep everybody up to date by all means. Of course, if you still have questions, reach out to me. If you're interested in lessons, maybe somebody out there is interested in lessons, you can go to this website. Michael watches HSD at 6 p.m. Central. 7 p.m. Central will be right after that. I could follow up Johnny with some cool stuff like this where we do audio examples the whole time through. I'm going to talk to both Johnny and Johnny Lipsham and some of the other guys and see what they all kind of want. And we're all community. Let's all help each other. Let's listen to phasing right now.
You are the one.
Dry vocal. Let's throw a phaser in.
You are the one. You make me feel like this. You are the one. Screaming, you hypocrite. Missing puzzle piece. Come and fill me in. The devil's words has spoken to me.
It might be better to throw a phaser onto something like a guitar. Because you can do it with vocals. It's just, it's the same kind of thing like we were hearing before. So let's just grab, and let's throw him in the center. This way there's no real weird things going on. Phaser. So do you hear that kind of ramping up and down that's going on with the signal? This is, again, it's cancellation of frequencies, but the frequencies are changing over time because the phaser is offsetting the signal by X amount of time. Does that make sense? It's taking the signal and is just delaying it, so when the other signals are coming in, they're getting canceled out. That's what's happening in a phaser and causing this. This is the same kind of sounds that you're getting with a flanger, and I'm just going to do the same thing on here. Flanger. People call it, I've heard somebody call it a flanger before. It's a flanger, like it's a flange. So you can hear it's that same kind of sound. The phaser is much deeper though. And then we can also do this as a comparison. The chorus. Turn the flanger off. Do you hear it happening there too? There's that same John like I'm back in the 70s. Yeah. I don't know. So here's our time-based effects, and these are really good to hear on guitar. So where I have a chorus, let's just pull up in a different preset. Who knows what this is? Let's go with something else. So this is chorus. Let me bypass it. So you can hear it's doing that kind of front back, but it gets a little hollow, like that happens with chorusing. So using this as like an effect and blending it is really nice. This way you don't lose anything in the middle. Then your longer delays puts you into a flanger. And you can hear this one really goes up and down. This is set on your speed and your delays and things like that. Then even longer than this brings us back to our phaser. And the reason that the longer the delay, the shorter that up and down is because of the frequencies that are happening within. They're so close together that you have this the delays cancel out at different rates. Okay. All right. Last little trick, because then I do have to go. Yeah. Something cool we can do. Let's go back to our vocals.
You are the one. You make me feel like this.
Let's put our quarter note in.
You are the one.
And let's take ping pong off real quick.
You are the one. You make me feel like this.
Okay, so there is just our eighth note, quarter note delays. But instead of sending this delay just to my effects bus, which is something that I do, I'm gonna take the output of this and send it to, let's send it to, not Mr. Vader, but to our church. Okay, so now I've taken the output of our quarter note delay and then I'm sending it into this reverb. And then so now the fader here is basically the send level into that reverb.
You are the one. You make me feel like this.
And what I'm going to do real quick, let me turn the phase send off.
You are the one. You make me feel like this.
I'm going to make this pre-fader, and I just want to listen to. Let's change this to be our plate.
You are the one, you make me feel like this.
So you can hear the delays are feeding this reverb, and then I can change the amount going in with my fader here. Obviously nothing is happening. So this can be a way of like kind of putting things together, because if we bring our lead vocal back in and we add our plate in, so now everything's going to be going to the plate. I'm going to turn off our quarter note delay real quick, and then I'm going to put the plate in, and let's, yeah, I know, which is this.
You are the one, you make me feel like this.
That's just vocal and reverb, right? Now let's go and throw our quarter note delay in, which is feeding the same reverb.
You are the one, you make me feel like this.
So it has that same kind of like rhythmic feel, but then it's like delayed and it's reverbed, making it sound a little bit further away.
You are the one.
And let's change our balance and bring this, you know, let's just put this back to 0.
You are the one.
And then very quickly, let's throw a Pro EQ on. Let's EQ the returns. Ready? Let's do the old Abbey Road trick. I'm gonna make this a little harder, bring this up, bring this down.
You are the one, you make me feel like this. You are the one, screaming hypocrite, missing puzzle piece, come and fill me in.
Actually, it's ringing here. You hear it?
You are the one, you make me feel like this. You are the.
So it's a much cleaner reverb now, and we've EQ'd the return. I can do this on the front end as well.
You are the one. You are the one, you make me feel like this.
So, a bunch of ways that you can alter your your returns. You have lots of fun. You can send your effects, like your delays and things, into your reverbs. You can send your reverbs into your delays. You can throw EQs in line. Another fun thing to do, let me do this real quick. I keep thinking of things, is following this up, and I like to do this. And I'm going to do it with this one because I really like this plugin, and it's another sound toy, so it might crash the system, but that's fine.
You are the one, you make me feel like this.
This is going to be bad. Ready?
You are the one.
Okay, that was bad. But I can add some harmonic saturation by distorting it a little. Let's go with this.
You are the one, you make me feel like this.
And it makes it almost telephony, but I've added just some saturation into this. It's so many different things you could do to still have your reverb, still have your delays, but not have them in the way of the entire mix of everything. Let's just do this.
You are the one, you make me feel like this. You are the one, screaming hypocrite.
So, Michael goes, what is your method for creating a parallel bus? I do it the old-fashioned way of just kind of going to whatever my channel is, and, you know, let's say like our lead vocals. Very quickly. I'm just going to do add a bus for selected channel. I just right-clicked on my lead vocal. And I like to do that because it gives me the option to like put it to a bus. But then I can just make a send. This is called bus 1. Where are you? Bus 1. And he's going to go over to this one as well, which is fine. And then let's take this thing on here, and I'm just going to crunch the hell out of it. Because why not? And we'll blend it in. Shift S.
You are the one, you make me feel like this. You are the one, screaming you hypocrite, missing puzzle piece, come and fill me in. The devil's words has spoken to me. The devil's words have spoken to.
So Things like that is how you can very quickly make a parallel bus. I do have another video that's out there as well where you can go into your channel editors and use the splitter tool to then just make a split, and then I can do something like this.
You are the one, you make me feel like.
And so now I have an exact copy on my lead vocal where this is parallel compression as well. I've used the splitter. It's a normal split, so it's just literally copies. I can have as many copies as I want. Like I just scrolled up to make 5 copies real quick. And if I want to do different compressors and blend them all in, you can do all kinds of different stuff. Like if I want to do maybe an 1176 as well and throw you onto this one, and then let's edit your settings and let's do some normal compression on this one.
You are the one, you make me feel like this. You are the one, screaming you hypocrite. Missing puzzle piece, come and fill me in. The devil's words have spoken,
so you're not hearing anything because I've disabled them all.
You make me feel like this. You are the one, screaming you hypocrite. Missing puzzle piece.
So there's a bunch of ways you can do parallel processing. I like just making sends to different buses, doing it the old-fashioned way, make them pre-fader, things like that. I think I need to turn the... I just got to get rid of this thing, get rid of that, because I don't need it. Remove.
You are the one, you make me feel like this. You are the one.
That brings that articulation and everything up. John, I have to run as well. I do want to say thank you to everybody for coming and hanging out. I hope that helped you out there, Michael. Thanks for coming and hanging out. If you're not already, come check me out on all the social media things and stuff like that. Michael, thank you for the Super Chat donation today. If you guys are looking for ways to support the channel, Super Chat is an awesome way to do it. I think it's over there or wherever the text box is for you. There's a little money sign. That's one way. Also, in every video, I put affiliate links down in the description. So if you're looking to get some new gear and get some new plugins, maybe some stuff that we talk about, there's affiliate links in the descriptions of all of my videos. So that's another way that you can help support the channel. Like I said, I'm going to take a little live stream break, but I will keep everybody updated when things are going to be coming back. But if you're not already, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. That'll also let you know when I'm live. And I will see you guys real soon. Have a great week. Have fun going back to school. Tell all the little kids, if they're going back to school, that I said learn lots and, get into the STEM program, because science, technology, engineering, math, that's where it all needs to be. And creative arts, like the arts. STEAM, like do STEAM instead of STEM. STEAM. Okay, well, have a great one, everybody, and I will see you soon.